All right, hi everybody, hi YouTube. Realize I'm a little bit late, but here's my my final siege in Summoner's War against Malicious. This is the semifinals of the Season 7 tournament. If you're not already aware, I did quit Summoner's War. We'll talk more about that at the end of the video. First, let's go through my swords. Malicious was running this Nana yellow thing with Escher. His name is Sagar. He's the Wind Bison. What he does is he pushes back your whole team, he strips and resets your water monster that you bring to tank him, and then he's got a one-turn defense break on his skill 2, and he's gone. He's not there anymore. So I just brought, very classic, this is like the most solid bruiser team in existence, right? This is a crit damage Triana because the only enemy monster that's going to be hitting my Triana is going to be that Escher, and like basically only when she has a defense break. Hopefully she won't have a defense break because it requires a non-glance from the water monster. So crit damage Triana is fine here. We have our Tessarian on Bruiser, speed, crit damage, HP, standard stuff. And we're not using Tessarian leader because I've said it before, if you're fighting against a 55 accuracy leader, your resistance doesn't matter. They have accuracy, so they don't care about your resistance. So we get a little bit of extra defense from that Triana leader. And this one goes pretty well. Barely get to outline it before the fight's over. Hello, Morning Finn. I beat your defense, but I guess you guys won the war, right? Former guildy. All right, Bloody Claw. They've got the Harmonia Kinky Vigor. My approach to this is just thinking, hey, Vigor Elucia sounds like a real strong core of a team against this. It's got the right elements. This is a team that just wants to be Eluciad, obviously. I thought Aegir was going to be a fine choice of third monster. He has a bit of control. He's got some damage. He's got some self-healing. So what I wanted to make sure was that I had like enough healing to keep up with kinky damage, which kinky damage like isn't that significant unless there's multiple violent procs. So, but like it's more significant than like your Elucia alone cannot heal against this, right? But you know, we kind of melt his vigor there. Keep our team safe, head into the Harmonia. I will say that this siege that I'm showing you right now is actually my worst performance since I joined this guild, which is a pretty embarrassing way to go out, but I'm over it. I'm a little embarrassed that I thought that I was going to definitely do fine in this tournament, even though I had already told my guild leads about 3 weeks prior that I was leaving Summoner's War. But I don't think that was the case. But yeah, so we control the team, we kill them one by one. Kinky's doing pretty decent damage to us, but we're decently beefy on our side. We got an HP leader, so we managed to get through the fight. And that one's a win. Up next, what do we got? We got Lucky Thomas with the Nana Escher Sagar. This one is, we definitely misplayed a bit in this one. You might notice that I said in our first match that there's no point in using a resistance leader against an accuracy leader as big as Nana. Well, this can only be explained by saying that I'm used to putting Tessarian on the left side, so I put Tessarian on the left side. I did not think enough about it, and maybe if I had a defense leader, we'll see if that matters, ever. Hopefully it's fine. I mean, the last one looked super clean, right? Escher hits our Tessarian, but Tessarian is just such a naturally tanky monster that he's okay with it. Not sure that I really needed the Triana heal right there, now that I'm watching it back. But we did it anyway. Escher gets the heal, so we don't get to watch Sagar die to that continuous damage. We're going to have to kill him the old-fashioned way, by attacking his life points directly. He comes back from the Nana passive, gets some damage on my Lulu. But, my Lulu's quite tanky and has... minus wind in this fight, or in most fights, actually. So even if the Sagar's built damage, like Lulu's pretty tanky. That's what we brought Lulu for. Sagar just about dead here. Just needs like one more solid hit. We didn't get a crit. This is a crit damage Triana, but it is only like 70 or 80 crit. I forget which. He gets the provoke, but you know, Lulu's skill 1's pretty good anyway. Gets a couple violent procs there into a defense break. Escher gets a couple violent procs into killing through the Triana passive. Now, I'm not sure if I had used Triana leader, if my Lulu would have survived that, but I think it's possible. Alright, so we get the defense break on the Sagar, we get the Oblivion on the Nana, but the Nana, thanks to the speed buff from Escher and just naturally good runes, out-rotates our Tessarian, so we actually get lapped, and that Oblivion falls off before we can finish off the Sagar there. So no luck involved, that was just rune grabbed. I think that's what you call that. Maybe if we had a tick 5 Tessarian, we would have been fine there. I don't know. So yeah, that one did not go as well as the other one. Maybe Triana leader would have changed that. Who knows? Up next, Harmonia Vigor Kinky. Again, so I'm still using my core of Elucia Vigor. I was thinking, who's a good third monster? Oh wait, I like the Succubi, you know? If you watch my stream, you know that I use Succubi a lot in RTA. So why not bring them to a siege near you? I've done it before against kinky defenses. So turn 1 for Harmonia, like double procking into Cleanse was kind of annoying, but you know, we're back on it. We've got a boatload of control here. There's going to be a lot of Z's over the opponent's heads throughout the rest of this match, because that's what my team do. So we're just going to keep the bulk of his team controlled while we kill whichever one looks best for killing. In this case, it turned out that the Vigor looked best for killing. I think because there was like an early opportunity to sleep the Harmonia or something, so we ended up killing Vigor first. More Z's, more Z's, more freeze, more Z's. More Z's, more freeze, more freeze, more Z's. Harmonia violent procs out of her slumber or freeziness, I don't know which one that was, to get a nice skill 3 off. But my team's taking a lot of turns. I get a lot of control. My team's taking a lot of turns. Their team's not taking very many turns, you know? Just kind of control them down until they're no longer on the battlefield. Alright, just a Kinky left. What could one little Kinky do, right? Not much, apparently. So down goes 1. I figure, hey, if the blue Succubus worked so well, what if we just tried the light one? And this is probably a throw. So like the light Succubus, you know, it's good. I've never actually used this one in Siege before. This is the first time ever in, you know, the most important Siege tournament match. A lot of violent procs just happened, or like 2 violent procs just happened. I missed 2 out of my 3 sleeps. Max accuracy, by the way, 85%. Or, you know, the 15% times 2 is what happened, which is 15% of 15%, which is it's a small number. But you know what? My team wasn't safe enough. It's like, I'm not the type of person that ever says I lost because of violent procs. I lost because what was I doing with a light Succubus in a siege battle in the first place, right? Also, I will point out that this defense is ruined entirely on tick 5. The runes on the defense here are incredibly good. They're plus 171 on the Kinky. That's tick 5. It's, you know, you can with the Vigor base speed, it's easier to get that to tick 5. But like a full tick 5 team with the stats they had, very impressive. So, and the fact that they're tick 5 means that I think if I brought a Lauren team, it wouldn't work all that well. Not as well as it does against your usual tick 6 Kinky stuff. But yeah, so here we have Twins with Tyrannus. This is a defense we've seen before. Everything's scary when you pull it on these guys' rune quality. This is J-Mac. We all know who J-Mac is. He's got some pretty serious rune quality, right? I figure Twins Tyrannus is the same thing as Twins Triana, right? It's Twins with a wind damage dealer. And I would use this team against a crit damage Triana, so why can't I use this team against a Tyrannus, right? So we come in with the good old Tractor Lulu Windy here. Take down the Martina. We play it the same way as we would against a Triana, except we're going to have to kill the Martina multiple times. I think, well, I know that JMac came by my stream, I think when I was streaming the finals for my watch party, and he was talking about how I lost to him in this one. And I think he said that Martina, at least, was like 122% rune efficiency. But, you know, knowing him, that's probably like the whole team. It's pretty scary runes. It's definitely far above the quality of my runes. Which is when, like, teams can start to fail. So that one worked great. And, you know, I've always kind of felt like if you use a team and you win, why not just do the exact same thing against the exact same player again? And the reason you might not want to do that is because if you, like, remembered what happened, or if you even, like, looked at the replay that you had saved on your phone, you would have realized that this defense was kind of built exactly the wrong way for you to hit it with Tractor Lulu Windy. It's got Martina moving first. It's got big damage on everybody. Especially the Martina's high damage. So, like, what if Martina targets your one defense breakable monster, gets a violent proc, and it goes kaboom? Then it looks a little bit like this. So, watching this back, I realize I misplay a little bit. I don't think it matters at all. I should be following my own advice from when you fight the Triana version, which is don't attack Shina, because Shina is your support. She's giving you shields that you need to tank the wind monster. So we get Martina down, and I start not following my own advice, right? Shina is my support at this point. I need this windy shield for my tractor to survive the Tyrannus damage. So I'm not sure what I was thinking. I probably was, I don't know, panicking or something, because I was like, yeah, I'm going to lose this. I actually remember I was in Discord with all my guildies, and I called out that I had lost this fight about 5 seconds into it. And I was like, well, my Lulu just exploded before I took a turn, so somebody else go in and tag the base, please. But yeah, like I said, I shouldn't have been attacking the Shina, but I don't think it would have mattered. Maybe in a universe where my tractor gets a bunch of stuns on the Tyrannus, that could have changed it, but that's probably not the universe we live in. Really, what I should have done is realized that this particular defense was ruined in the worst way possible for this offense, and I should have hit somebody else. Because, like, somebody else might have had a Swift Shina, they might have had, you know, tankier Martina and less damage on their team overall. So I should have looked at my replay and been like, wow, that defense was ruined to counter me, I should hit someone else, and I didn't do that. So that one's on me as well. Up next, this is the other 4-star defense they brought out. They brought out a Hraesvelg, recently buffed monster. Gets that Berserk buff now that, like, makes him do a ton more damage. I figured MS Fran was going to be good here. You know, I can take his buffs. I've got immunity. He doesn't have any strip outside of, like, the 50% chance on the Mermaid if it happens to decide to use skill 1 today. So, we kind of burned through his team with our twins. And, yeah. So it's always nice when you get to do a nice little twins hit and it goes well. And you're like, man, I love having the twins. The twins are nice. Up next, I see a Ritesh. Ritesh always makes me think that I want a Bulwark. Always has, always will. Ritesh, like, basically buffs your Bulwark at least 1 stack every single turn, right? Because he's going to buff you on skill 1 and on skill 3. I identify Molong as the threat here. I don't want to deal with their Molong and however crazy they built it. Unfortunately, I leave myself open to getting defense broken on my Molong, which could have been pretty concerning if he had violent procced on his Beast Monk over there. So maybe the answer would be to slow down my Riley a bit, have my Riley move just after my Molong, and then I wouldn't have to worry about that, but then I'd have to worry about what if I only have 3 stacks on turn 1, or less, or fewer. Either way, that didn't happen. We took down the Molong, and now we're just letting his Ritesh stack us up. I think I do misplay here. I wish that wasn't such a theme for this siege, me misplaying. So you're gonna see me go for the Molly next. That is a mistake. I'm going for the Molly next because in my head I'm like, oh, the Ritesh is stacking my Bulwark, so I want to keep this Ritesh alive so it can give me more stacks, and I can get more Bulwark. That's silly, though, because the Ritesh is also the only threat, and I have my own stack generation with my Riley, right? So I definitely should have killed the Ritesh there and not the Molly. I left myself open for, you know, a bunch of violent procs to happen and just lose the fight to a single Ritesh. I'll spoil it for you, that doesn't happen, and we win. So, no, never punished, right? But yeah, poor target selection. Ritesh should have died second. Up next. This is my last one. At this point in the siege, we had started 1v3ing some of their defenses and 2v3ing some of their defenses out of desperation because we realized we would lose if we didn't do that. Unfortunately, this tower opened and this tower was a priority target, so I didn't get to do any solos in this siege. Not good for content, but I figure here we've got a very tanky Lulu and a very tanky Triana. They're going to provide a tank for the Hraesvelg, a tank for the Carcano if I'm not defense broken on my Carcano, and with the Triana passive, there's like, you know, redundancy there, where even if he's not attacking my tank, Triana passive obviously brings a bit of safety for my Carcano. So we kill the Carcano because I think it just seemed most convenient to do. The Hraesvelg does hit very hard. I mean, that attack buff, man, does a lot of damage. This is quite a tanky Lulu, and we always have our handy 23% wind reduction artifact on. That said, I don't know if this Hraesvelg, even if he is doing a lot of damage, is going to get quite through me. He also has clearly more than 30,000 health based on those numbers right there. Turns out that the best guild on the global server has some good runes, right? Congratulations to Malicious, by the way, on getting back into the champion seat. Well played. Absolutely insane offense rates from them this tournament. Actually kind of bonkers. Maybe that just speaks to how poor defenses are this time around. Or it speaks to the amount of work those guys put in. One of those things. For sure. Or both. Could be both. I don't know. I'm not a siege scientist anymore. Finally, the beta gets a strip on my Carcano's will. If that had happened on turn 1, maybe this would have been a closer match. Unfortunately, it did not happen on turn 1. So I don't think this is going to be a closer match. I think it's probably about to end. And that's it. 7-3. 7-3 is my worst scoreline since I joined this guild. Unfortunate. And now I'll talk a bit about why I quit Summoner's War. All right, quick change of scenery. Now, why did I quit? I talked about this on my stream when I streamed the finals. Basically, I quit Summoner's War because it's been a long time and I'm ready to play something else or not play this anymore. I played this game for 5.5 years. I played it every single day for a very large amount of time. I loved it. I'm not going to be the guy that's like, Summoner's War is trash. I can't believe they ruined the game or anything like that. No, Summoner's War is a phenomenally good game. One of the best games, one of the best video games I've ever played in my entire life. But yeah, I just, 5.5 years is a long time. I'm not sure I've ever played another video game for 5.5 years before. And I just don't really feel like playing anymore. So real quick, like why I started streaming and posting videos on YouTube was actually COVID. Before COVID, I used to walk to my neighborhood bar, sit at the end of the bar, chat with the bartenders, and do my siege have some beers, depending, corresponding with how the procs were treating me that day. So obviously COVID closed down my bar, and I didn't want to just like sit at home doing nothing, doing my Summoner's War siege, right? And there weren't like that many people streaming siege on Twitch or anything. So I was like, hey, I can try that. So I started streaming on Twitch. my channel got like bigger than I ever expected to be, which is to say I got to like 80 average viewers for Summoners War Siege streams, which is like, I expected like 6 of my guildies and maybe 2 or 3 random people to watch me and just, you know, hang out kind of thing. But yeah, I did better than I thought I would. It was always a hobby. It was never like an attempt at a new career. So, you know, it's been a while for that as well. And yeah, never really expected any of it to last forever. As far as the YouTube was like, okay, I get that my Siege streams can be, you know, 3 hours long, and it takes the whole 3 hours for me to get through 10 attacks. So it's like, okay, if you just want to see the attacks, you don't want to skip through the VOD, here's some YouTube videos, I'll edit them real quick. And yeah, so that's just kind of how it always was for me. So I'm playing in Lost Ark now, because it's just the new video game that I like. That's not the reason I quit Summoners War. I quit Summoners War again because I was just kind of tired of it. Just a long time. And yeah, great game, Summoners War. I will always remember it fondly. Although, like, maybe they could have done more in the last year for Com to us, you know? It kind of feels like maybe they're moving on from Summoners War as well. I don't know. I don't speak for them. Anyway, another question I've gotten is, what's happening to my account? Am I selling it? Have I deleted it? Obviously, you can see it on screen right now. This is the first time I've logged into it in the last 2 weeks since the Siege tournament. I logged in to collect my season rewards, and then I left my guild and logged out. No, obviously, it's my account. You can't have it. Nobody can have it. It's not for sale. I'm not going to delete it. You know, I earned it. I got my little Siege badge that I'm very proud of. I love it, and it's mine forever. I'm also not, like, taking a vow to never play Summoners War again. Obviously, a lot of people who quit Summoners War come back to it. If that's me, then that's fine. But I don't have any plans to. Like I said, I haven't opened the game in like 2 weeks, and I still have no interest in opening the game. I did it today to have a nice little background to talk over for this video. But yeah, I'm done with Summoners War. Feel free to unsubscribe from the YouTube, although I don't expect you'll be getting any notifications anyway, because I don't plan to post any new videos after this one. But, you know, who knows what'll happen in the future. Thanks everybody who watched. I really appreciate you. I hope that if you're still playing Summoners War, you're having a great time with it. And I'll probably still be lurking around Twitch streams, so I'm not like gone forever. Just done as like a content creator for Summoners War. And I'm still streaming Lost Ark for like anyone who wants to watch. If you have any questions for me, I am live on Twitch. I've actually been streaming more now playing Lost Ark than I used to stream playing Summoners War. So feel free to come chat with me if you ever want to. But other than that, this is probably my last YouTube video, maybe ever, but at least for a while. Thanks everybody. Have a good one. Bye.